Hey Virgo, welcome to your May reading. Sorry, I nearly forgot what month it was. I have already shuffled and layered and I began the reading. And my kids are home. It's Anzac Day as I'm recording, and yeah, they were interrupting, and it was getting too noisy. They're playing cars, and yeah, so I'm starting again for you guys. So what I said in the beginning when I was first said Virgo, I was like, hey Virgo, and then in my head it's like something's going on with Virgos at the minute. I'm now telling you this because I brushed that off as just being my own opinions, but then as I come and look at the cards, I can really see it like something's going on with Virgo energy. Um, so we'll touch on that as we go through it. With the first cards we start with is a very positive kind of cards. It's Fourth Chakra Archangel Raphael and Elven Touch Recovery Comeback Revival. Now I feel like Virgo, you're very much in this energy of like, I'm coming back and I'm going to go big and I'm going home. It's that kind of energy and you're sitting in it. And it's really good and positive in terms of movement for you and growth, and I'm loving that. And this is a very healing time. Now for the past 2 years plus, we've all been going through this really rough transitional energy, and it's kind of forcing every single human on earth to have to go through a healing period of something. It's brought all of those insecurities up. We're also sitting in Mercury in retrograde during this time, so if you are having all of those wounds, that's going to be bringing them to the surface a little bit, but it's a positive progressive thing, okay, if you allow it to be. With that in mind, this Archangel Raphael, again, he's the Archangel of healing. It's heart chakra. I feel like you're healing things from basically like the Taurian energy that we're sitting in right now. It's Taurus season. It's my birthday on Wednesday the 3rd. And it's about really living and going through things that are within our core values. Now, I do kind of get this negative connotation because I've had a glimpse at the whole reading as I was shuffling. And I kind of want to be saying, like, be wary that you're not pushing people out the way to get what you want. I feel like this is the Virgo energy. It's this kind of pride connotation. I'm going to touch back on that again in the next cards, but I just want to go back to that elven touch. You are definitely going through a healing period right now. The fact that we have it with Archangel Raphael, fourth chakra card, is I feel like it's a very positive thing for you, as though this is really healing you during this time. And again, you are coming back, which means I feel like you may be feeling like you're a little bit on top a lot of the times at the minute. But again, I want you to realize, like, are you having instant gratification? And then after it's over and done with, you're having that downfall. This is what I want you to be conscious of. Because if you're having the downfall after the win, maybe it's not actually alignment in your values, but you're chasing that win. So be conscious of that. We'll touch on that maybe a bit later. So the next cards we have is Victory in Reverse and Astrild. Now Astrild crosses the energy of the next column as well, so it will all be kind of entwined here. The Victory in Reverse, I feel as though you may be feeling like going through a loss of some kind, whether it's emotional, because I feel as though it's kind of, it's like disappointing. And this is what I feel up here when I was saying how it's like getting that win but then feeling a loss or some kind of disappointment attached to it. And that's what I'm feeling with this victory card. It may mean that something's not gone the way that you feel. Now also with this card, I feel as though, again, I'm going to touch on being prideful and egotistical. Sometimes if we're just chasing the highs and again pushing people out the way, that's what I felt like I had to say to you, Virgo, is this can bring that negative connotation to the good things in your life, because you're doing things from a kind of toxic position, right? I'm not saying this is everyone. This is just something to be mindful of. Because again, with the Astral, she gives very much, bringing in the harvest, but she's love, passion, sensuality, she's fertility. This is a really great card in terms of relationships. So I feel as though here, you might be feeling a little bit disappointed in a relationship, but then the relationship is fine, the relationship is fire, but there's just some kind of negative connotation. And I feel like touching on a toxic thing could be that maybe there's some pride or something getting in the way that's potentially preventing you from really seeing the true potential of what you have. But with this, again, the relationship side of things could be very passionate, very loving during this time, and a very fertile kind of reunion or connection. So if you're in a relationship, it could be that this is a very passionate relationship. Like the connection is deep, it's there, and that this person will support you. And I feel like you see that. So I'm just going to quickly glimpse into this future column over here. It kind of crosses over into the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. And this is our third eye. So I feel as though this person is helping you heal and helping you to really be able to realize what it is that you want. But again, we'll go back on that as we progress in the reading. But it definitely feels as though there's some kind of passion. And again, this could be, if you're not in a relationship or interested in love, this really could be like a fuel, a fire of love within you. We have literally the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael, so heart chakra here, all the way to this, passion. So there's some kind of fuel and love that's pushing you forward during this time. And I feel like that is enough to get you past this kind of disappointment card that I'm feeling there. Okay, in reverse we have the Weaver. Fate, destiny, and word. To sneeze. No. No, okay, we're good. And paired with indecision, sorry. I'm blind. So the Weaver, this is saying you're on the right path and you're creating something that is meant for you, which is totally in alignment with this. Now again, we are in Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus is in Uranus, whatever. Uranus is in Taurus. Ignore me. And this is the planet of independence and core values. Taurus is about going for things that we value, things that mean something to us, and that's what we're all doing, and it's different to every single one of us. Some people, our core values are protection, so we will be doing everything to provide security for us in our lives. Some people's are financial stability, and again, you're then seeking that drive towards career goals, family values. Everyone's working towards their own thing that is within their value. And here, this is saying that you are paving the way, creating that web for yourself. And again, I'm getting harvest vibes. I feel like you're taking inventory during this time, reaping the rewards of your hard work. But again, this is paired with indecision. This is quite interesting, in reversed actually, which is quite interesting. I feel as though you need to be, it's like going one path instead of having several paths. You need to be simplifying what you have. And again, so these two paired together is like you are on the right path. You're going the right track, which is interesting. Just seeing what you... Yes, and this is definitely towards your values. I feel like you need tunnel vision. Don't be sidetracked by things that might potentially get in your way. I feel like you know where you need to go, and that's the way you should go. And again, it's about following your passions and following your goals, which is the energy of Virgo that I'm feeling. Like, there's something up with you guys. You're so focused on what you want, and it's a really good thing. Over here, we have attachment. With oath in reverse, so pay attention to oath. She is promise, pledge, contract, and attachment. Okay, interesting. So you may be committing further in a relationship. And you may actually, with oath, it can actually mean marriage. And it can mean committing fully to something. So in terms of relationship, that's very positive. It means you're ready to commit. And you could be very attached to this person. Be careful of codependency. On both sides. I feel like you don't like people to be codependent to you. Perhaps the person you're with is quite codependent compared to what you're used to. Now be aware, is it codependency or are you seeing it like that because you're not used to that kind of connection, or it's not in your same kind of energy field. I feel like it's a very good pairing that you're committing, because it's saying commit to this, pledge and promise. But it may be different. With attachment, it can be wary of making unhealthy attachment. So it could be as well that, again, if you are healing, make sure that you are healing yourself and not just attaching to somebody because it's easy, maybe. Yeah, easy. Let's see. But I feel like this person is vulnerable with you. They take off their mask. In terms of anything else, if you're committing to something, again, just make sure you're going from a place of integrity and not connecting yourself to something that's not authentic to you. Be wary that you don't have to take your mask off when you get home. I feel like that's the thing, this weird vibe that I'm feeling, Virgo. It's like playing a game to get to where you want to be. Be conscious that you're being integral, you're being in alignment with who you are all the way through this. And I feel like that's what makes it easy. When I said it easy in relationships, this is an easy path by just being honest and go for what you want and not trying to mask who you are in the process. There's a lot of white here, which is innocence and truth. The next we have the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron, alongside with the astral. So again, in relationships or connections with something, it really is saying just being authentic, be in alignment with you. And it does feel drive, passion. Archangel Metatron is about really trusting in your spirituality and your faith and who you are, and trusting the divine vision that you get through. He is the archangel that supports spiritual awakenings, which could be again something you're going from, which would create that kind of chaotic energy that I feel for Virgo a little bit at the moment. It feels like a thirst and a passion for something. So just be wary that you're not throwing that out there. Like, I'm thirsty for everything and I'm so passionate and I want. I feel like that's not how you want to be seen, but it could be how you're being seen. I just keep feeling this need to say this. Interesting. It's time for you to branch out. It is time for you to make a move. Could literally be moving. It's time for you to just freaking move. Stop putting it off. Where you are right now, it's grown as much as it's going to grow. And it's time for you to fly towards something that's a bigger picture, a bigger vision. And I feel like you know that. That's what you're working towards. And again, this comes after the sixth chakra. So it's sort of saying, look, you know, you have the insight. It's about making the moves though. And I do feel this sense of nostalgia with where you are and where you've been. But remember, we're moving. You're moving on. Moving towards greater things, because where you are right now has reached its full potential. And as I say that, again, in relationships, make sure you are keeping in alignment with what you desire and you're not just settling, because where you are may have grown. For some of you, I feel like you might need to hear that it may have grown to its full potential if you have that negative attachment in terms of commitment. Next we have the life bringer. It's in reverse, so pay attention. Again, we have establishment, growth, and fulfillment. I do feel like you are putting down roots somewhere and committing to something, but you are growing. And I do feel like it's quite a fast pace. So be wary, people may be jealous of your progression. This is paired with envy. Now, envy can have two sides. Firstly, it indicates that there may be someone that's envious of you that may be trying to throw stones on your parade. I don't know what the saying is, but throw stones at you, you know, try and dim your shine. This is sort of saying, like, you're growing, you're the life bringer, you're creating something during this time, and it's flourishing, it's green. Look at this card. It's beautiful. It's really growing and manifesting something so brilliant for yourself that it's going to create envy from others who are not in that place yet, that are not ready to make those moves. It also can mean that be wary of that you are not being envious of others, and that you're kind of allowing, in a way, preventing others from growing to their full potential by casting those shadows on what they're doing. But I do feel like the first is more relevant, but do be aware of your own behavior, because again, I keep having that niggle here to sort of say, do what's in alignment with you. Take off the mask though. We don't need that mask. So yeah. It is a time to take action. This is paired with Otherworld, and it's in reverse, so again, pay attention. All of these ones for you seem to be coming out reversed. Otherworld, Veil, Illness, and Transition. Interesting. So you're definitely transitioning onto different things. This could mean that you might feel a little bit run down with big changes and I feel as though, like, as I'm saying at the beginning, like, all this passion, this drive, you can hit an exhausted point where you've been pushing yourself so much that you feel run down. So make sure you're taking the right action that's healthy and helpful for you. Because it's giving me a sense of something hidden as well with that other world. But I do feel like you are moving towards something different, which could indicate like that's something hidden from yourself, because you're moving from something unknown to you. And I'm not really getting a lot from the sickness aspect of this, but I do feel like there could be a potential to feel run down if you are constantly pushing and driving and pushing. which I do feel like you're definitely in a go energy, but it feels positive and productive, but it does feel exhausting. The action card is saying move, make movement, the good and the bad, keep moving. So again, in reverse, these are your final cards. The Ancient, Elder, Experience, and Lessons. And this is alongside Patience. And this was reversed. So I do feel like you need to be moving and not halting. While you do need to make sure that you are taking care of everything, you do need to make sure your health is being put into the whole situation. And I feel like this is the thing. You need to be focusing on everything, and I think that's why it's so exhausting, because I think that you're not allowed a one-track mind. So you're on a one direction, but you want to be covering all aspects of it. So for example, I'm going to pick a random aspiration. Let's say our aspiration is for a family, right? You already met someone and you really like them, but you haven't committed to them yet, right? So with this, we will be like, the direction is to commit to this person, take next steps. Now you can control that of your side of things, but you can't control your partner. That partner might not be ready. He or she might be cautious in that sort of area, and that's going to create like a negative impact of you. So you're going to be pushing a little bit more. But why wouldn't you want to commit to me, and taking it offensive and really pushing a push? Or perhaps potentially you are ready but you're nervous, and I feel like there's just like potential here where it's like things that again may get in the way of your bigger picture, and I feel as though then in that you need to make sure you're taking care of your mental health and how you may be feeling offended by stuff. Again, we have Mercury in retrograde, which means communication is going to be difficult, but it's difficult because it's supposed to pinpoint. Again, sometimes it can literally just be pinpoint on how that communication affects you. When we look at it from a mental health point of view, be like, hang on, I'm getting really defensive really easily. Why? What am I not getting here? What do I need to see? Sometimes it could be that you're fearful of losing that person. It's telling you want to commit to them, but there's something stopping you, and you're able to go down that trail of thought in that aspect as well. So making sure you're checking in with the mental health. Again, when you're go, you might not be eating as much. You're so focused on, maybe you're so focused on having good times with that person that you're overindulging in food. You're not taking care of your health and making sure you're being a healthy version of yourself. I just feel like there's all these areas that you need to make sure you're not losing the ball somewhere. And this is an energy where I feel like you are trying to be on top of everything, and it is exhausting. So you need to use your wisdom. I feel like you know exactly how to do all of this and how to juggle, but make sure that you be patient and kind with yourself, because even though you do know that and you might push yourself, is it in the best interest? Is it going to get the results? I feel like you're going to get the results you desire. There's no point rushing to it. You have the direction, and it's just taking action but being kind. This Patience in reverse is saying, go. Don't stop. Again, it's not upright, so it's not telling you to be patient as such. It's saying be kind, but go forward. The Ancients really is saying you have all the wisdom and lessons to kind of go for what you want. And again, I just have no doubts here that you can't have what you want. It literally is just small things. It's like, just make sure. So that's really cool. I do feel like you have a good partner in whatever it is, whether it's a life partner or whether it is a career partner, just something where there's someone like by your side in whatever your aspiration is, that they're there with you guiding. So it's a really good reading. It's basically just saying, yeah, go for it. Just take care of yourself and make sure of these things. Thank you so much, Virgo. Thank you for being here. Please comment below if you have any questions, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, guys. See you next month.